Do you waste hours trying to plan out and set an agenda for your video content day? Maybe you shoot videos once a week, once every other week, once a month, once a quarter, or whatever that frequency is. Well, today I'm going to be walking you through what I actually do for my own video day, but then also what I do for clients that I work with on their video day to make sure that there's a complete agenda, there's the topics that are going to be talked about, we have a clean setup and that sort of thing where we're filming, and making sure that we have all of our ducks in a row to get that content day completed and make sure it's efficient. So the first thing to think about is obviously your capacity. What capacity do you have available time-wise to be able to dedicate to recording video content? So assuming that you're already shooting video content for social media, maybe you're doing podcasts, maybe you're doing video content for YouTube, whatever you're doing from a content creation standpoint, then you're gonna really need to know how your time will equate to that. So for example, if you have podcasts and you're loading up your podcast once per week, one day that's your podcast day or your content day, what a lot of people like to say. Do your podcast episodes go an hour? Do they go 30 minutes? That's going to determine how much you can actually squeeze in that day, obviously. So you really need to map out and determine what that is. So for me, I shoot video content once every other week. So the podcasts, I kind of shoot them whenever I have bookings available. So that's a little bit more sporadic, but shooting videos specifically for YouTube, which is actually what I'm doing right now. I planned out on the first and second Friday of every single month, and that's blocked out on my calendar in the afternoon after lunch. So I make sure that I knock that out, get all my videos loaded up. We do about 2 YouTube videos every single week on my channel. So I'm gonna knock out 4 videos every time I record. Now, I loaded up a batch when we first started, so we wanna make sure we stay ahead. But understanding my capacity, I can't just dedicate, 3 or 4 hours every single week trying to record video content. So I know that once every other week is ideal. If I really wanted to, I could actually sit down once a month for a full day and load up all 8 videos that I would do for my YouTube video or my YouTube channel, but that's not the capacity I chose. So really it's a kind of make it your own type of thing, but understanding your capacity is very important. You wanna make sure that obviously if you're recording video content, that this is for a business, this is for marketing your business, and you can't just be a full-time content creator, which means you're constantly recording video, you're always out and about recording video, and you're never running your business. So understand your capacity. So assuming that you have a full-blown actual marketing plan and plan for your social media, plan for your podcast, your YouTube channel, that sort of thing, we already know why we're doing it, the North Star, what we're trying to accomplish, how we're trying to acquire leads and stuff like that. I'm going to set that off to the side. If you don't know that, we have other videos teaching you how to actually nail that down. But assuming you have all that in line and you have a pipeline built out, what we're going to be doing first is creating our topics. We want to know what topics we're actually going to be shooting videos on. And I do have another video that teaches you how to create unlimited video topics. So you could really go watch that into greater detail if you want to learn how to create the topics. But basically, I am laying out the topics that I want to knock out for the video, for the batching of the videos that I'm going to do for this week. And I create those topics, make sure I have some outlines for that. Now, I do have another video on how to create scripts and outlines and stuff like that. And so for me, I can look at a topic and all I really want is the hook line. So the first thing that comes out of my mouth when I'm speaking. So I use ChatGPT to help me with that and kind of craft something good. So the first thing that comes out of my mouth is something that's a hook. It's a bold statement or a bold question to entice the viewers to watch the video, right? So that's really the thing I spend the most time on. And then after that, I can look at that topic and just riff this entire time. So I don't have an outline with bullet points of what I'm talking about. I don't have a script or anything like that. And that's just what works for me. For you, you might need a semi-script. Maybe you need an outline and that sort of thing, and you need to stop and pause in between each point. That's totally fine. So you want to knock that out along with your topics before you go into your video day. To expect you to just turn a camera on and here's the, I don't even know what topics I'm going to shoot videos on, but I'm going to turn a video camera on and just talk. Then obviously that could maybe work for some people. For most people, it's not going to work. So have those topics in advance. Now, I think people spend way too much time on trying to create the topics and outlines. Just pick 4 topics that maybe you've never done before or is a variation of a topic you've done before. So for example, later on today, I'm going to be recording another video that I actually did about 3 years ago. So I'm just going to redo it because information is updated and things have changed. So it's relevant for me to reshoot that video. I'm totally fine with that. But you can go find the original one on my YouTube channel, or you can listen to the updated one on my YouTube channel. They're still going to be relevant. So make sure you have your topics and everything ready to go. Now, this is, of course, understanding that you are sitting down to batch and shoot the videos, not documenting. Obviously, documenting If you're a real estate investor and you're walking through a property and someone has a camera with you and they're walking around as you're pointing things out, that's a totally different story. We're not talking about that today. So have your ducks in a row with the topics, your outlines, and all of that. The next thing would be just determining where you're going to be shooting the video. Now, I'm actually going to be today shooting a video that talks about where to shoot video content. So stick around for that. But you really nail down, like, where am I going to be shooting the video? So I know that the 4 videos I'm shooting today are going to be in my kitchen with the background behind me as my living room. I already knew that. So I have a change of clothes. I have a couple hats to swap out in and out of. I have a couple of t-shirts and that sort of thing so that we get a variety of look as we're doing the video. So it makes it appear like we're shooting videos in different timelines and that sort of thing. That really helps keep the actual like vibe of it fresh. And my video editor is going to edit, say, next week's video is going to be me in my office. And then this video is, the next video is going to be me in the kitchen. It's going to swap the environments to make sure that we have the environment's fresh. And I do think that is important. We'll like save that conversation for another day, but nailing down where you're going to shoot is important. So if you have an office, obviously you can utilize your office. If you have a home that is quiet and has a really good peaceful environment for you to be able to actually record video in without being distracted, then utilize that. I have a whole nother video, like I said, I'm going to be talking about that, but nail down where you're going to be doing the video content. If you're going to be out at a house, you know, maybe you're a real estate investor and you're going to be out at a house and shooting video, have that planned out first and foremost and make sure that you know, if it's being worked on, make sure that the construction workers are off the job and that sort of thing. So you get where I'm going with that. Next would be your equipment. So obviously if you're going to be on the move and somewhere, for example, I'm in my kitchen, so I'm not up in my office. I have a stationary kind of recording station for my office. I had to get all of my gear together, which is only a handful of things, but I had to get all my gear together, set it up, and then make sure that it's all like tested and that sort of thing. So that's another piece of it that I would run you through, is making sure that you test your equipment. So before I started recording this specific video, I ran a test run to make sure that the video looks good and the audio sounds good and that it's actually recording. Because I can't tell you how many people I've worked with where they thought they were recording video and they didn't test it before and there was no audio, or the audio was actually horrible. I've even had people record on their iPhone and record it in slow motion, and it just didn't work out because it's really hard to re-render a slow motion video and that sort of thing. So the slow motion video was like an hour and a half long, but their topic was only 5 minutes, and it was because it was shot in slow motion. And if they had just tested it before, they would have been able to make that determination. So test things. Take the extra 2 to 5 minutes to just run a quick test, and then you're off to the races, and you know that everything that you have technological-wise is going to work. Then after that, it's just recording. Sit down, make sure you're in a distraction-free environment, make sure you're in a clean environment. You don't have anything in front of you that you can mess around with and play with while you're on your video, and then just rip the content out. Do your first video, then change your shirt, change your hat, go to the next video. Do the same thing as you're changing the videos. Now for me, in the particular environment that I'm in right now, all 4 videos I'm shooting today are going to be with the background behind me. I'm just changing my shirt, my hat, and that sort of thing to keep a little bit of a fresh look to it. But next, in the next batch that I shoot, I'm going to be up in my office. So we're swapping the environments back and forth. But I know today this is what I'm doing. So I just know that after I'm done with this video, I'm going to stop recording and then load up my next one and then get ready to go and rip that one out. So the end all be all is you really don't need a crazy full-blown agenda. Now, when I actually go shoot videos on site, I do this every once in a while where I'll actually go on site with a client and shoot videos for them. We'll dedicate an entire day for me to come out, and all we're doing is shooting video content for them. And then that allows them to load that up for a full quarter's worth of content or however much they need. We've walked away with shooting 100 videos for social media with somebody before in just one day. But this is the proper planning that I set people through anyway, is making sure we have our topics down, outlines and that sort of thing like I talked about, making sure we know where we're shooting the videos, making sure we have the technology and all the gear that we need to take, which I normally bring that with the client. And then also making sure we have our environment in which we're shooting. So changing a shirt, changing a hat, that sort of thing, all squared away. That's really the agenda we set. And then when I come in that day, we literally start at 9 a.m. We shoot the videos all the way through the day, and then I'm done. I leave, and now we have 100 videos ready to go loaded up. So that is basically, in a nutshell, strategizing and setting an agenda for your video content day. Go through these proper steps. Go through and set the parameters for yourself. Make sure you build it around your capacity as well. Like I said, just choose if it's going to be once a month, if it's going to be once a week, if it's going to be once every other week, or once a quarter, and you just dedicate a whole day instead of a couple hours once every other month or whatever. make that determination. And all that's going to be based on how many videos you're actually going to be putting out. For example, again, for me, I put out 2 YouTube videos every single week. So I just know every other week I need to shoot 4 because that's my amount that I'm putting out on a weekly basis. So hopefully that helps somebody today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I would be happy to answer those. I have a few comments pouring in every once in a while. I could always shoot another video if you have another question, but also make sure you connect with me on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Just look for Josh Culler and you'll find me there. Send me a direct message and let me know if you have any questions at all. Happy to help. Other than that, thank you so much for watching and we'll see you on the next one.